Yo, what's up YouTube family? It's your boy Koots back at you with another hot TikTok reaction video. Today we will be reacting to some strange and bizarre TikTok reactions that will have you rethinking everything. With that said, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get it, baby.
What if I told you we can control weather and make it rain on demand? Let me show you how. Storms are created through a process called cloud seeding. This is a process where scientists use chemicals like potassium iodide, silver iodide, or dry ice to create rain. Airplanes spread these tiny chemicals through the sky where they act like condensation nuclei. Basically, they give water droplets in the clouds something to stick to and form raindrops. Cloud seeding is used all over the US, especially in states suffering from drought needing extra water for crops. What's interesting is that cloud seeding was used in the 2008 Beijing Olympics to clear up rainstorms before the event. While cloud seeding helps bring rain, it's not always guaranteed to work. And there's a debate whether humans should manipulate the weather, the long-term effects on the environment, and even if cloud seeding harms our own health.
Just to let y'all know, man, I got all the clips of Project Cirrus that I could. It was not as many as I thought it was, at least enough to make a whole compilation video just with Project Cirrus videos. But this is what I have, y'all.
These hurricanes are now moving. I remember this happened like 6 months ago. The hurricane went from Florida to New York. And it's like, when do you know of hurricanes going all the way up the country? Before, you usually hear it, it would hit the land, and then it would kind of dissipate. The technology that they're using is supposed to be dissipating these things. Like, a lot of the technology was supposed to be there to disperse things. You know, it was supposed to be for like getting rid of tornadoes and hurricanes and breaking up the eye of the hurricane. But it's interesting too, because when I was researching into this, I was looking up Project Cirrus, which is Cirrus. And this was when General Electric went into a hurricane, dropped all this dry ice, and then just flooded all the surrounding towns when this hurricane was moving. And this was back in the 50s. So if you think about this one, as this one was going through, if they just dropped whatever they're using, chemical concoction, in that area, well, it just floods all of this area.
Project Cirrus it is. Pause and read if you want. This is like detailed reports on Project Cirrus, and it's a lot to read, I ain't gonna lie. Dang, that's a lot to read, man. I may or may not even post this. I might just skip over this part, like take this part out the whole clip. But if I don't, y'all, man, it is what it is. Hopefully you like the information. Always do your own research. Sometimes things are right there under your nose. Exactly. I guess I'll leave it in. Let me know what you think about that down below.
Project Cirrus is the first official attempt to modify a hurricane. It was run by General Electric with the support of the U.S. military. The official theory was that by changing the temperature outside the eye wall of a hurricane, which they did by seeding the clouds with various compounds such as silver iodide, a decrease in strong winds will result. On October 13, 1947, Project Cirrus targeted a hurricane heading out to sea. Approximately 180 pounds of dry ice was dropped into the clouds. The crew then reported a pronounced modification of the cloud deck, and the hurricane abruptly changed direction and made landfall near Savannah, Georgia. The public blamed the government. Irving Langmuir, who pioneered General Electric's atmospheric research department and admitted that the project was about learning how to weaponize the weather, also claimed the reversal of the hurricane had been caused by Project Cirrus. But the government denied it for 12 years.
Interesting. Attention to the patterns. It's not natural.
Hey, it's Glamham. A lot of people talking about this lately, what with all the hurricanes. This is actually something I've studied by way of being a ham radio operator, simply because the weather has a huge effect on radio wave, in particular the ionosphere. And so things that impact the ionosphere are intriguing to me. Well, you may have seen this cartoon clip circulating. I want to tag the lady that I believe first saw this clip a few days ago. Her name is Bridget, and it's Foghorn Leghorn. Let's take a look. He's demonstrating, of course, a rain dance, which works.
Now then, boy.
But when he asks his friend...
See, you blew up a storm. What you doing there, son?
And look what he has. Dry ice. Let's remember Noah is celebrating their 70th anniversary of using dry ice in a hurricane. You can see my Weather Mod playlist for more on that.
Some storm. Where's the thunder and lightning? I had to ask.
On the subject of old cartoons leaking weather secrets, have you heard about the German doctor who claimed his patient, a Hollywood producer, said he was paid $60 million to add these into old Disney cartoons? Let's take a look.
To go over and edit all the old Disney movies.
In den Himmel diese Streifen einzubauen.
To put into the scenes of the sky these stripes.
So, when people see a Disney movie
also
today,
wenn dann die Leute einen Disney-Film schauen heute, for example, people say today, well, Klinger, you're talking about these stripes being formed on the sky today, only as of late.
Die gleichen Streifen drin.
Look at this movie here from 1954. There are the same stripes at the sky.
I should add that if you look online, this doctor gets debunked by people who call him a quack. One of his areas of study is detoxing heavy metals out of the body, which I personally don't believe is quack. Additionally, I truthfully don't know what this doctor would have to gain by telling this story.
Mein Patient hatte für 60 Millionen Dollar bekommen.
My patient received for this job $60 million.
I'll see you in the comments. Take care.
Let me know what you think about that down below. Like I always say, they put it in the cartoons, the TV shows, and the movies, man. Don't fall for the boo-boo.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. On the geopolitical side, the technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations. Others might seize on SAI's benefits and back away from their commitment to carbon dioxide reductions. And as with other breakthrough technologies, global norms and standards are lacking to guide the deployment and implementation of SAI and other.
They just admit they discovered the technology to create Category 5 hurricanes.
In Miami, where researchers are creating their own storms in a state-of-the-art lab. It could end up saving lives. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. This tank gives scientists and the rest of us a view no one has ever had before. What a hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world capable of creating a Category 5 hurricane over water. Brian House is the director of the University of Miami's new laboratory at the Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science.
What was it like when you cranked it up the first time full blast?
It was stunning. I mean, it was it was chills.
Nearly 40,000 gallons of seawater fill this tank. House uses a computer program and a single 1,700 horsepower fan with wind speeds up to 157 miles per hour.
This tank is the largest wind wave facility in the world. We can generate an extreme Category 5.
House and his team want to understand why some hurricanes make landfall and fizzle out, while others become catastrophes.
It's the heat of the ocean that powers the hurricane. We know that gasoline drives a car, but if you didn't know how much you were pouring into the engine, you wouldn't know how fast it's going to go.
What this is going to help teach you is how the gasoline gets into the engine of the hurricane.
Exactly.
Their focus is storm surge. Rising waters historically caused 9 out of 10 hurricane-related deaths. During Hurricane Katrina in 2005, storm surge killed 1,500 people. Dr. Rick Knapp, director of the National Hurricane Center in Miami, has high hopes for the new lab.
It's very rewarding.
If you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Okay, now this was over 10 years ago, man. Because it said it was over 9 years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's like 10 years older. If they were able to do that type of stuff and had that type of technology then, just imagine what type of technology they have, now, like to geoengineer their own storms, their own weather patterns and all this stuff. It's not too far-fetched, believe that. Let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. Heck, I know y'all seen the movie Geostorm, right?
Thanks to Hurricane Milton, I think now is a great time to talk about Project Storm Fury. This information is readily available on NOAA's website. Project Storm Fury was an ambitious experimental program of research on hurricane modification carried out between 1962 and 1983. So they claim that this was to decrease the intensity of hurricanes. But silver iodide actually leads to more intense storms, including more rain and snow. And cloud seeding is actually something that the government openly admits to, and they use it to increase rainfall, especially during times of drought. Before Project Storm Fury, there was Project Cirrus, and this was actually the first hurricane seeding experiment, which took place in 1906. Again, this is information on the government's website. You can just Google it. They dropped nearly 180 pounds of crushed dry ice into a hurricane, and the hurricane actually reversed its course and made landfall in Savannah, Georgia, instead of moving back out to sea after it had already caused major destruction in Florida. They canceled the project because the public blamed the government for the cloud seeding. And they claim that evidence showed that the storm had already begun to turn when seeding began. However, that didn't stop the public from criticizing them, and they actually canceled this project, and it set cloud seeding research back for over a decade. I genuinely believe the last part is BS, honestly. According to the NOAA's website, the hurricane moved nearly 100 miles west of where they expected it to be. It made a 135-degree left turn, and it was intensifying. There was massive public outrage that the scientists had caused the storm to swerve into Georgia, and threats of lawsuits were thrown about. Again, this is the government that is admitting this on their website, but yet people are calling it a conspiracy theory. No, this is public information.
The Simpsons already knew. In the episode Springfield Storm, a large tropical storm weakens before hitting the town, just like Hurricane Milton. But the real danger wasn't in the winds. It was in the floods that followed. What the Simpsons didn't know is that Hurricane Milton would cause an even bigger disaster due to soil saturation and heavy rains, leaving entire neighborhoods underwater. Interestingly, the episode also showed people unprepared for the true impact of the storm, exactly like it happened in real life. And if you're like me and don't want this hurricane to cause harm to people, comment stop. The similarities with the episode's prediction are striking. Could the Simpsons have predicted yet another natural disaster? With devastating floods and entire cities cut off, Milton proved that, even weakened, the danger was even greater. Comment below what you think. Are the Simpsons predicting the future?
Yo, this is absolutely insane. So we know that something really big is happening November 5th, right? But guess what else probably may be happening November 5th? Another hurricane, exactly where Milton and Helene both hit. And again, when's it supposed to hit? November 5th. So I've been watching this guy for a while now, and most of the time when he says something's gonna happen, it happens. And he is not the only person calling for it. A lot of people on Twitter are, and the GFS is saying this will happen. So if it's right, what does that mean for us? And at the same exact time, we have NOAA coming out, and they're debunking, saying no one can create or steer this, the technology does not exist. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. I'm just showing y'all what accredited organizations are saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm pretty sure that this is going to happen. And again, this is going on when the whole world has been flooding like I've been showing you recently. It's just so weird how the organization's name is literally NOAA. Remember the flood? And so quickly people forget what just happened in North Carolina. Devastating North Carolina's population. Still out of power in multiple places and a very high unaliving count. Anyways.
Did somebody say Project Cirrus? I think so. This may have something to do with that too.
Awesome! So long, suckers! Oh.
save our
Oh man, they had the right idea at the end of Mars. But that was funny. Y'all, it's so calm. You see the bus float around. Like, come on, man. You better listen to them kids. Sometimes it's good to listen to your kids, man. And Lisa's pretty smart, so I would have listened to her too. Bart, man, he's something else, man.
Remember we were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff?
Yep. Yes.
Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina that is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
wiped out.
This is Maui all over again.
It's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
But yeah, people won't be able to afford to rebuild. So if someone can come in and cover like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over, leaving the land behind.
Man, I know y'all keep seeing me wipe my face and stuff on my nose and stuff. Man, I forgot to turn my AC on and it's getting toasty in here. Man, but it's all right, cause I'm gonna get through it. Yeah, I'm gonna get through it, y'all. And the people that don't know, man, I live in Texas, man, and right now it's supposed to be kind of going to winter time, but it's kind of toasty outside right now. So y'all bear with me.
Hey, Florida, I heard y'all had some dry ice falling during Hurricane Milton. Did you know this? It says cloud seeding may be affecting your health. Cloud seeding is happening everywhere, and it could be causing serious health problems in ways you aren't aware of. Cloud seeding is a process where chemicals are dispersed into the air to change how clouds produce moisture. The cloud seeding process is conducted by the government to modify the weather in any given area. The chemicals alter the microphysical process that occur naturally in the atmosphere, thereby creating false weather events. While many different chemicals can be used for cloud seeding, such as solid carbon dioxide, dry ice, and silver iodide, is the most commonly used. Dry ice, huh? So there was dry ice in Florida from Hurricane Milton, and if you combine dry ice and silver iodide, you can create false weather events. You know those snowballs when people pack them and then they light the... Never mind. Listen, it goes on to say, cloud seeding releases dangerous silver iodide into the air. The silver iodide falls from the sky. Ever tried to burn a snowball with a lighter and watched it turn black? Yep, that's silver iodide. We've all seen those videos of the snowballs with people with the lighters and it won't melt and it just turns black. That's fake. It was cloud seeding. And then it says, a formally classified operation, cloud seeding is now a well-known tactic. The majority of commercial airlines have cloud seeding contracts with the government. Cloud seeding has been blamed for natural disasters like floods, tsunamis, droughts, earthquakes, tornadoes, plagues, famines, and may even be responsible for the changes in the atmosphere that are causing the sunsets to appear differently. Then it says, the process of cloud seeding is a fringe science. There is no evidence that helps control the weather whatsoever. However, there may be another reason for this chemical disruption of our atmosphere, and it has nothing to do with the weather. Alright, there's Beetlejuice, right under Beetlejuice. Silver iodide is basically a dangerous drug. In addition to being a bleach and an explosive, it is extremely addictive. Chemical biologist Sam Reeves with the University of Bolivia said, in concentrated doses, silver iodide offers a short but very intense high. When dispersed into the air, however, the effects are minimum and gradual. By drug seeding the atmosphere, the government is effectively building up the tolerance of every United States citizen to silver iodide. What in the... Reeves feared that there may be a nefarious reason for the government to be drug seeding. However, he stresses that while silver iodide is addictive and toxic and explosive and dangerous, and there are many good reasons why the government could be using drug seeding. Silver iodide increases dopamine production, which is a good thing. Feelings of euphoria and confidence are something everyone can use. The alertness and increased energy are the icing on the cake. There are just a few of the positive side effects of silver iodide. In conclusion, it's while the positive effects of silver iodide may sound appealing, the downsides don't. The come down is pretty bad, Reeves warned. There are also some potential psychological effects, including sadness, delusion, and paranoia. That's why they have to do it so often. 319 million paranoid, depressed, angry people would be a big problem. So, to answer your question, that's why the dry ice was seen in Florida during Hurricane Milton.
Makes sense. Makes sense for the ones who thought this was fictional. Shoot, this is about as real as it could get. Just like the chemtrail, the chemtrail stuff. Everybody know, man. I'm pretty sure y'all see that stuff in the skies all the time, especially if you stay somewhere in the country, man. Let me know down below what you think about that. Let me know how many of y'all see chemtrails around the world. That's a fact, man. You can't tell me this stuff ain't real. This weather modification stuff, and they've been showing us and putting it in our faces, especially with the situation in Dubai and now the Sahara Desert. Come on, man. We know the Sahara Desert, does not get that wet, man. It don't be flooded like that, man. It's a desert. I mean, it rains from time to time, but it's not usually like that. But man, this is something like, this is some type of phenomenon, man. This is like a once in a lifetime type ordeal, in my humble opinion, from what I know about the Sahara Desert. Even though I've heard in the past that it used to be a tropical subterranean, or not subterranean, but a tropical area. But hey, look at it now. Maybe it's that time, like we say, the end times, end days, where everything that used to be, everything's being reversed. Everything that's hot is going to turn tropical or cold. Anything that's dry and desolate is going to be tropical, and anything that's hot is going to be cold. Anything cold is going to be hot and tropical. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
All this technology shows me what a great deception that we have on the way. And believe it or not, this right here has much to do with this great deception. Oh, not that, I mean this. It's kind of the same thing, right? By the way, their technology is about 100 years past what they actually show us. And believe it or not, this great deception that's on the way has been shown to us for literal decades. This was the 1984 closing ceremony at the Olympics. Harvard and this organization right here actually worked on a possible extraterrestrial strategy for Earth. You can go look it up yourself, and it's Harvard that did a study on abductees when they had real signs of trauma that were tested with lie detectors. And that's the thing, people are thinking this great deception is all going to be a hologram and demonic spirits thinking they cannot touch you, but that could not be farther from the truth. Maybe for Olympics getting us ready. Like I told you 1,000 times, flesh suits created by the fallen angels for demons to inhabit. In the book of Isaiah, we have this class of creature, this Hebrew word being aris, meaning awe, terror striking creatures that live in the branch in the clouds. Living in the branches of the clouds? You get it?
The great deception, man. I'm glad people are awakening and start to understand what's really going on, what's really about to happen, because you see those type of things in the sky, like 4D is really 4D holographic technology, man. Like, it's holograms. Of course, you know that's not true. Like, you know that's not real. That size of a cat, like, ain't no cat gonna be that color anyway. But come on, man. Like, that's just like you seeing stuff in the stars and connected it to yourself, and it's like a big picture, and the stars together start moving or something. Like, it's something like you see in a movie, man. Like, you got to know that this stuff is out here to deceive us, man. Like, for real. Like, it's not a joke, man. It's just like all of it goes together with this Project BB. Some people say, oh man, Blue Beam is not real, man. It's all Hey, man, whatever. That's all I'm saying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Believe what you believe. That's your opinion, man. But I feel like people like that out here trying to misinform people. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They trying to lead people astray. And my personal opinion that, like, it is real, and a lot of these so-called UFOs, UAPs, and stuff like that you see out here have to do with that. You know what I'm saying? They call them, some people say they drones or something like that. Like, I just can't, you know, jump on that ship and say that this stuff is real, even though it's a possibility that some of it is real, some are real, but they not aliens that you think of or come from outer space. You know, they are probably demonic forces and demonic beings using demonic technology from the fallen angels. You know what I'm saying? It's this fallen angel tech. It's ancient technology that was brought down with them from another dimension. I wouldn't say specifically from heaven, from the stars like heaven, but like another dimension up there type ordeal. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we got a lot to learn about that too, man. That's just a whole nother video, to be honest with you. But that's my opinion. That's what I think. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. You think these UAPs, UFOs are real, or you think it's just Project BB and 4D holographic technology? And for the ones who may not know about 4D holographic technology, you may want to do your research, or if you request, and enough of you request in the comment section, maybe I'll do a video about it in the future.
Okay, Danny Sheehan, if you don't know who he is, he's a public interest lawyer. He is also part of Stephen Greer's Disclosure Project. He is a well thought of guy in the UFO community. I don't know too much about his credibility. I know I've seen him a lot in different interviews, so I can't, all I can do is speculate. I know he also has represented Luis Elizondo, so he is definitely into the Disclosure Project, and he has talked about this so much. But recently, this is new information. He said some things that were absolutely astounding. Check this out.
These UFOs are actually vehicles that they're transporting organic, live beings from some other planet in our galaxy and some other dimension within our galaxy. And that they're coming and going to our planet right now, and have been for some time. They, in fact, have bases here on our planet, many of which are located high in the desolate areas in the mountains, where very few people ever go, and beneath the sea. There's a major base in the Pacific that we're virtually certain exists off Baja, between Baja and Guadalupe Island, potentially beneath the ocean floor. This has been monitored. We have hundreds of videos of the vehicles coming and going from that location and plunging into the sea and going down into and coming from this base. This is extraordinarily important for everyone to understand.
This man found a cave that mysteriously leads to the...
Hey, y'all, like I always say, man, before we continue with this clip, a lack of perception breeds deception. So you will only be deceived by this stuff, and if you don't have the perception, the eyes to see this stuff, to realize the real lies. You feel what I'm saying? Come on now. Don't fall for the boo-boo, man.
Disney World bathrooms.
The secret cave that goes into Disneyland. Now, if this works and it actually does go into Disneyland, I have an annual pass, so I'm not trying to steal admission.
Let's see where this leads to.
Here goes.
If he's telling the truth, this is insane.
It's kind of short.
Y'all think if you don't leave to Disneyland or whatever.
No way. No way. No freaking way.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Something ain't right, y'all. Stay weird.
Yeah, I think that video goes hand in hand with the video that I posted yesterday's video with Officer I think it's Grady of the one of the Atlanta PD Georgia PD police departments, Mr. Grady. Or is it Grady Police Department? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure y'all know down below in the comment section. Y'all will remember and remind me. You know, it's the officer that posted the video with the Disneyland, the people, you know, the trafficking with the Disneyland and stuff like that. Like, man, he is a very important police officer out here. He's a vital force out here in helping, you know, find a lot of these kids that have been, you know what I'm saying, Rex trafficked, you know, like, come on now. That's he doing God's work for real, for real.
This is huge. If you've seen the viral video about the tunnels that are under LA, that are under New York, that are under DC, you have some idea what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen any of those, don't worry. It's been a few years now, and I've heard about the tunnels, and I'm like, okay, how does that link together? But with everything going on with Diddy now, I'm going to tell you why this all links together. You heard of Diddy and his charges. You've already heard about Epstein and what he definitely did not do. And you've seen things with our government, and especially Hollywood. So where is this tunnel system at? LA. Incredible sources have seen staircases going down into these tunnels. And if you do some brief research on DuckDuckGo, don't go to Google for this, go to DuckDuckGo and type in how many tunnel systems are in the US. Hundreds of thousands of miles underground, and they're carrying substances, they're carrying people, is the key one here. And why are they doing that? That's going to take you down a whole different rabbit hole. But right now we need to keep an eye on every tunnel system. If you see an opening, say something, film it, because this conspiracy goes real deep. And what they're doing in these tunnel systems needs to be brought to light, because I guarantee you a lot of things that have happened and a lot of people that have gone missing are all connected with this. They've been doing it under the radar for so long now, but we have a chance to bring them to light ourselves. The media, they know about this. They're controlled by the companies in LA. They're probably using the tunnels.
Facts, man. I ain't gonna lie. Where they finding these tunnels all over the world right about now. They not being used for the, you know what I'm saying, the best of things, and probably what they should be used for. Or maybe that's exactly what they, are supposed to be used for what they doing with them. But I would think they use I would think they're for secret societies and, you know what I'm saying, keeping secrets, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying. But I guess those are supposed to be secrets too for certain demonic organizations. So I'm gonna keep it like that. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section though.
This high point, I was taking video camera and I had actually turned to the north, which just kind of slopes down. And right there was something that stuck out like a sore thumb, especially with jungle terrain, things like that, vegetation, very green stuff, was something that stuck out so well. It's always going to be basically imprisoned in my mind for the rest of my life, and it has been for 14 years, was something that was rotating, and it was transitioning between colors like a light matte gray as well as a dark matte black. So in between, that's what it kept, and it was very smooth. We had all looked at each other as we got online, and we decided to investigate. The further thing I want to say is that I actually took pictures and video of this before we actually trucked down. We had a dump pouch where we basically, if we expend ammunition, we want to retain our magazines, so we put those there. So I dropped my camera in there, and we decided to go down. We didn't have any communications, which was weird, and that was a very odd thing, and it's something that either could have been good that we didn't, or it could have been something that could have been very bad. And it just however you want to look at that. Once we got down this slope, we were approximately 150 meters away from this craft. When we all got to the point where we could see it, just like behind here, again, Mr. Schratt, phenomenal job. You can see that the craft here actually was roughly about 300 feet. And the reason why I know this is because you could fit 3 of the helicopters that we flew in on underneath this craft. It was rotating a clockwise motion. The panels here that you see, the black ones, at least 3 of them, was like a Vanta black, very dark. I have no idea what that was. On the very top, there was like a pyramid structure that you could see the shadowing of it, which would elicit that was a pyramid structure. And it had an audible hum to it, kind of like a guitar amp if you were to unplug that, or like a transformer. It's very audible. If I was to hear that sound again, I could tell you, okay, it's probably this thing or something similar to that.
Man, is it me, or has human trafficking been more like broadcasted and more talked about like in the last 10 to 15 years? Like it's so like blatant now. It's like so much, man, I'm sure it's so more like blatant now. Like that's all like you hear about or see about like on TV and stuff, but not really on the news, but sometimes on the news, but like mainly like on these sites, like on, you know, stuff like this, like TikTok and like Facebook and stuff, comments and stuff. It's like more blatant and it's more like talked about, like it's kind of like in a good way, like broadcasted, like it's, man, like it's not as hidden or secluded like it was, like, and I guess that's a good thing in certain ways, certain aspects, but you know, just to, you know, help find these people. But like, man, it's crazy. Like, who knew that it was going on so much just around us? Like, it could be like going on next door to you, like your neighbor, your teacher, or the police officer that you thought was such a good guy or whatever is involved with this type of activity, man. Like, it always comes out. Like, come on, man, Disneyland, Disney World, probably one of the last places we thought would be involved with some stuff like this, but actually, if you think about it, it makes total sense, because it's where a lot of people visit and a lot of kids are, right? Places like these are more prone to be involved in not, right? If you think about it with an open eye.
This is war, pick your sides, know your stand.
Turns out that the basic thing that these evil beings want is to create Satanism. And this is one of the most fascinating things I only learned in 2021 from new briefings, that anywhere these beings go, any planet they go in our galaxy, they're going to create pentagrams, they're going to create ritual magic, they're going to have people wear robes, they're going to have people wearing face masks, burning candles, chanting to this very real artificial intelligence that we think of as Satan. It actually does exist. There is a satanic AI that has become essentially like a soul. It's got its own unique abilities, and it can appear as a human being, which apparently it does, in a base in Antarctica called Lucifer's Palace. If you go in there, it's very amazing. There's no other building like it on Earth. You really feel that this would be the entity that controls the planet, and this being will consolidate into a human form and appear that way in front of you. So what I'm saying is that your typical Aleister Crowley type of Satanism, where there is, all these things I mentioned, the robes, the candles, the chanting, the masks, pentagram, and of course the sacrifice.
And that's facts, man. This is true. Like, this is well known. If you watch the channel and you've been watching the channel, you kind of understand what he meant and what he means by that. And you watch this video, you kind of understand what he means by that. You know what I'm saying? This is proof, and that should be proof enough to y'all that those so-called beings or entities are demonic forces or are demons, man. They're not who you think they are. They're not who they say they are. And they're evil, plain and simple. Learn something new every day. Pause and read that. Make sure y'all pause and read that, man. That looks too much like the McDonald's symbol, isn't it? Doesn't it? That's because it is the McDonald's symbol. Y'all, this is the end of the video. If you made it this far from the beginning, man, I appreciate the love and support, man. That means you's a real rider, you's a real MVP. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to the man upstairs, the Most High. Shout out to the TikTok creators whose videos that I use to make these compilations, man. Y'all the real MVPs. I couldn't do it without y'all, man. For real, for real. It's your boy Koozie, man. I'm out. See you next video. Y'all take it easy. Have a good weekend.